Margaret Czajkowski is here. She's the Executive Director of Childventures Early Learning Academy. Good morning.
Good morning.
So here we are, it's Family Day, and people are looking for lots of things to do, and we're going to talk specifically more about that later, the actual things you can go to do. But we wanted to talk to you about the impact of the time spent on children. It has a huge impact on their development emotionally and cognitively.
Certainly. And I think we get sidetracked nowadays as families looking at activities and events. We get our calendars very busy and scheduled. And really what the research is telling us is quality time, doing things with your children in your own home certainly has advantages later in life.
So what kind of benefits are the kids? Obviously they're feeling more secure if they're spending time with their parents and all of that sort of thing. But from ages 0 to 12, what can go wrong and what can go right depending on the amount of time you spend?
Really, the ages 0 to 6 are extremely critical in that emotional development, and that bonding and attachment to our primary caregivers is significant. So when children have that strong feeling of good well-being, it really does help them with all other aspects of development.
What sort of activity should you be doing with your kids? Because I think that's the problem for parents is they run out of ideas. You can only color for so long, right? Do you cook? What should you do? Does it even matter?
I actually visited our Childventures kindergarten class last week and asked the kindergarten children, what would you like to do with your family for Family Day? And honestly, their ideas are so simple. One little boy that's just learned how to read wants to read his favorite story to his little brother. Another little boy wanted to make a chocolate cake. One wanted to wear his pajamas backwards. One was hoping that there's still lots and lots and lots of snow so that he could build a snowman. So from a child's perspective, all things that are relatively easy and really would be able to connect the adults and the home with the children.
I'll take the kid with the backwards pajamas.
Yeah,
that's easy.
So
That's pretty
it is
easy.
the time spent, though. So, and when you were citing the ages 0 to 6, if the time spent isn't there, and we're all doing our best, but if the time spent isn't there, does that mean that those children will have trouble bonding with other adults later in life?
What I think we want to focus on is, I mean, we are busy nowadays. That is the reality of life. But let's think about when you do have that time, what is happening with it? I mean, a lot of us have big homes, many, many rooms. Are we even in the same physical environments as our children, even though we're all at home together? So kind of, making that the importance of getting together and interacting and really spending time with the people.
No, I don't think anyone can really dispute that it's important to spend a lot of time with your kids, but my question is, how much is too much? Because a lot of times, I think it's necessary to give the children also their own independence, to be able to think for themselves, to play with their own friends, to do that sort of thing. What would you think is the line to draw?
Certainly the age would make a difference. I mean, we all know teenagers highly socially driven, and their peers are an important part of their lives. For children 0 to 6, they really do have a need to belong socially. So as long as you're balancing it, I mean, you certainly wouldn't want to go extremes where you were home all the time and really not exposing them to other children or other types of activities. So, and really pay attention to your child, their own behaviors, and they will give indicators as to, what their needs are.
And you talk about the home, I mean, that's their sanctuary, and this is a place where you can really make it or break it, if you will, with your kid. Something that you bring up, which I think is so neat, watching TV. I know a lot of people frown upon that, but sometimes that's all you have is TV. Now you watch TV together, and you're talking about doing something during the commercial break, which I think is so neat. Talk about that.
Exactly. And the commercial break does give you time to ask some questions, how was your day? At Childventures, we give the parents a little portfolio of some activities that their children have been involved in that day. And really the reason for doing that is so that it truly just elicits some interaction, some conversation.
With the teens, I'm just reading here as well that it says that when teens feel like they have a secure household and they're spending enough time with their parents, that helps to improve their academic performance, could potentially mean that they don't turn to drugs and alcohol as they're growing older. That's very significant.
Certainly. And we do have a misconception about teens. We have this feeling that they don't need us when they get to a certain age. So it's almost where we think, oh, they're fine, they're old enough, they should be okay on their own. When really what the research is telling us is that's a significant time where they do really need to feel that they belong. So it's this sense of belonging in a safe environment.
But you're right, they'll do everything they can to make you think the other way around, won't they?
Oh, they're pro at that.
Margaret Czajkowski, thank you so much. She's the Executive Director of Childventures Early Learning Academy. Great talking with you this morning.
My pleasure, thank you.